Today I'm going to be ranking famous piano pieces in terms of difficulty. Alright, so Moonlight Sonata, I'm going to put that in medium. If you want to play it well and like on the first movement, if you want to play that first movement well and not have everyone in the audience fall asleep, it's very difficult. To get clarity on the third movement is also really difficult. Okay, so La Campanella, I'm gonna put that, I put that in hard just because it's obviously famously super difficult. It's quote unquote one of the most difficult piano pieces, but it's definitely not one of the most difficult piano pieces, but it's still insanely difficult. I mean, there's a lot of jumps. Also a lot of sections where there's jumps in both hands. You have to rely like just on muscle memory. So yeah, it's like, that's insanely difficult. Rachmaninoff Piano Concerto number 2, I'm putting that in God level. It's insanely difficult because like you really just have to play dramatic and emotional throughout the entire piece. Like it's insane. Schubert Serenade, I'm guessing they're talking about the Liszt arrangement. I'll put this in medium. It's pretty difficult, like getting the right sound, but in terms of just technique, it's pretty easy. All right, so Schumann Dream, I'm putting this in easy. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful piece, but in terms of just technique and like, it's easy. All right, Chopin Sonata number 2, Opus 35. I'm putting that in God level. It's incredibly difficult to play well, and obviously since it's Chopin, it's difficult. Bach Prelude in C major. I'm putting that in easy, but it's not easy. In terms of just notes and like dynamics and stuff, it's not that hard. Mozart Piano Sonata number 16. I'm putting that in hard because in terms of the notes, it's obviously not difficult, but to play it rather than just the notes, it's incredibly difficult because there's not a lot of notes. It's hard to make it sound good. Chopin Ballade number 1, I'm putting that in hard. In terms of just the notes and like technical difficulty, it's not easy at all. It's not easy at all, and in terms of just emotional playing, it's incredibly difficult because it's just 10 minutes of just different emotions. And for example, parts like this. Yeah, it's not easy at all. Chopin's Prelude number 4, I'm putting that in medium because in this piece, it's technically very, very easy. It's arguably one of Chopin's easiest pieces, but in terms of just playing emotionally, like making it sound good, you have to make everything sound legato almost. It's very difficult. Liszt here, easily Liszt here. That's insanely difficult. In terms of just technique, it's arguably one of the hardest Liszt pieces. I've never played it personally, but like it's insane. Number 1, I'm putting that in easy. I feel like the amount of pianists who actually play it isn't a lot, but the amount of times you hear it, it is a lot. Like it's a very famous piece. But in terms of just like technique and how difficult it is, it's not too difficult. Chopin Etude number 5, Opus 10. I'll put that in medium. It's in terms of Chopin's etudes, it's not that difficult. It's kind of like on the easier medium side, so I feel like that's like a fair rating. Chopin Etude, Opus 25, number 11, that's the Winter Wind. That I'm gonna put in God level. That's arguably the most difficult Chopin Etude out of all 24. It's insane. The amount of like stamina you need to go through the chromatic scales while keeping the melody is just, that's insane. Beethoven Sonata Pathétique, I'll put that in medium. If we're talking about the full sonata, actually, I'll put it in hard. There's a lot of different like techniques you need to, I guess, master to actually play this piece. I feel like hard is a pretty good rating. Oh yeah, that's Liszt here. That's one of, if not the most difficult piano piece. It's easily one of the most difficult piano pieces there is. Tchaikovsky Piano Concerto number 1. I'm putting that in God level. In terms of sound, that piece is just super epic, and it's It's really difficult. When the entire orchestra and everything, it's really difficult. Because you have these very large jumps, and it's not easy. Grieg Piano Concerto in A minor, I'll put that in hard. I haven't ever played it personally, but it looks pretty difficult, so I'll put that in hard. Islami, that's going to list. That's straight to list. That's right next to whole like Scarbo suit and everything. In terms of technical difficulty, that's again up there with the most difficult piano pieces. It's not easy to play at all. Beethoven Hammerclave, straight to list. That's the most difficult piano piece that Beethoven's ever composed. It's what, like 40 minutes long. It's insane. It's just technically difficult. It's emotionally difficult. It's musically difficult. To listen to, it's difficult. It's insane. Rachmaninoff Prelude in G minor, I'll put that in hard. No, actually, I'll move that to medium. In terms of technical difficulty, it's not that hard. But the middle section is, you really have to get that sparkly and like just beautiful, and just like the jumps, and it's difficult, but it's not like insane. Chopin Nocturne number 2, opus 9. I'm putting that in medium. It's really famous. Since everyone's heard the piece, it's really hard to just make it your own, I guess. So I'm putting that in medium. But in terms of just like technique, it's not that difficult. I have no idea how to list hot tension. I'm putting that in, obviously, it's list. So I'm putting that in list. I know it's incredibly difficult. I've obviously never played it, but it's incredibly difficult. It's probably up there with some of the most difficult pieces Liszt composed. All right, Debussy Clair de Lune. I'm putting that in hard because in terms of the notes, it's not hard, but to make it sound good, like when it sounds good, it sounds really good. It's really difficult. Like it's actually, I changed my mind. I'm putting that in God level because to make this sound good, it's really difficult. And it's obviously just a beautiful piece and everyone's heard of it. Yeah, I might put that in God level. Alright, Beethoven for Elise, I'm putting that in medium. In terms of the notes, it's easy. Except like maybe some sections can be difficult, I guess, for like beginners. Yeah, in terms of notes, it's not hard. In terms of musicality, it can be difficult, but it's not. Yeah, it's not hard. I'll keep that in easy. Chopin Nocturne in C sharp minor. I'm putting that in medium. Next to number 2, opus 9. In terms of the notes, it's again not difficult. But if you want to play this piece well and just like haunting, it's you know what? I'm putting this in hard. I think it's harder than opus 9 number 2. Just to play it with emotion and to make it dark, it's really difficult. Mozart Rondo alla Turca, I'm putting that in medium. Just because some runs can be hard and just to make some of the parts jumpy and I guess bright is difficult. Chopin Fantasy Impromptu, I'll put that in medium. It definitely sounds faster than it is. The hardest thing about this piece is the polyrhythm, but once you get past the polyrhythm, it's not that hard. Liszt Liebestraum, I'll put this in hard. In terms of musicality, it's very difficult. To get like the dynamics right is also difficult. Yeah, I think hard is like a fair rating. Okay, the Lark, I've never played this, but I've seen the sheet music, so I'm gonna put this in God level. To get everything sparkly and I guess almost dark and the way you want it to sound is very difficult. Alright guys, so that's my ratings for difficult piano pieces, like famous piano pieces in terms of difficulty. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.